Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live for a Turbo podcast. This is like bang bang commentary. Now we're gonna go to the new Turbo. This is the exciting Sunday setup. 1 day or 1 minute days, 1 minute nights, and here we go. And they begin. It is a closed setup, and here they go. Everybody coming out. We got Tepe coming in, Setru coming in, Porsche coming in, Tommy Oliver coming in, Sprite coming in, and it is a load of content that needs to be compressed into just a short amount of time. And I think for a lot of these players, it's just kind of like a lot of randomness, especially the day one, right? You kind of just see something, you do it. These guys just bang, bang, bang. We see a couple votes here already on Porsche, on Ajax. And here we go. Vote on Tepic from Porsche. Tell me Oliver voting Porsche. Tepic voting Sprite. This is crazy. Oh my god. Let's go. What an insane night going on right now. And 15 seconds. 15 seconds of the day. Tepe got another vote on him. Who is going to die? Under 10. What's the vote count? The vote count is 2-2. Porsche and Tepe are tied. It's going to go down to the last second, too. Porsche got the lead. Porsche then unvoted is getting a tie. And Porsche dies in a tie. And just like that, the town get a huge jump right there, and Porsche dies in the Ranta Tepe. Unbelievable game that we're witnessing here. My oh my, what an experience this is. That is a crazy turn of events right there. When we talk about big time plays, that's kind of big time plays by your big time player there, and you kind of just gotta imagine what is going on in your head if you're kind of the mafia there, how you kind of regroup. And to me, this is a huge change of events, especially for the Mafia. You kind of go like down like this in a closed setup. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who to target. We just got to hope for the best and do what you got to do. All right, and now we have officially okay, and there we go. Got it out there for all the people there. And just like that, let's go back. And the next day has begun. We got 3 posts in to begin. And in the night, Tepe had died a vanilla villager. And here is Setru saying, very confused. And Tommy Oliver bang on Sprite. Jira votes on Ajax, says GG go next. And Setru says, I am town now, WTF. And Tommy and Jira Oliver and votes Ajax. Ajax saying Tommy Jira probably town, I don't know. 21 seconds remaining. Tommy Oliver says we're a pro. And Sidro and Ajax Sprite on divorce. And the time is ticking ever so slightly. 4 posts remaining. 10 seconds remaining. On vote on Ajax. Vote on Sprite. Vote on Sprite. That's 3 on Sprite. And Sprite in the lead. Is this it? Is this it for game 1? With an opportunity. With 1 second 0. And divorce voted Sprite voted no one, and Sprite was the cop. Unbelievable. And Simon, the cat of, I believe it is bystander, brutally murdered in daylight. And the village all of a sudden in trouble. And what a huge bonus for the Mafia in that situation. Talk about guts. Talk about big time plays. That is such a big time play there for the Mafia, able to get the kill that they needed. And for those at home, by the way, I don't have spoilers or anything. I wasn't able to be a host or anything. I don't have any spoilers, just kind of doing play-by-play. But my God, you talk about those big time plays there. And, you talked about divorce, even mentioned some result, and Sprite ended up being cop. And, it is crazy to me. It's a crazy turn of events. And now all of a sudden, right, you kind of go into this F4 situation potentially, and we kind of wonder what's going to happen, right? Who's going to die? And there we go, Tommy Oliver dies. So do you sleep here, or do you kind of go for it here? And I think in these type of setups, you might need the day, and then you sleep, right? You don't want to insta-sleep because the timings are so short. But let's see what happens. 46, and now immediately Setru goes sleep. And Ajax are divorced, probably down for tracker save attempt. And Jared says, lol, F. And here we go. Gonna go down to the wire here in game number 1 of this 5-game tournament. Mafia. Wow. Wow. Here we go. 13 seconds remaining, and they're all probably gonna go to sleep. Well, Divorce voted sleep. Sid, you're now on Jira. Uh-oh. And Jira says it's probably just Jay. And is it gonna Randy or potentially it's a sleep one on Jira, and it's a sleep and one vote on Jira. And it is, oh, Jira's Mafia dies in the tie. Unbelievable. And Jira, and that is it. And Town miraculously come back from that one. They are alive, and they win game number 1. GG's to the Town. What a game that was. In driving fashion, Sid Drew coming up clutch. And my, oh my, I just cannot believe what we saw there. I mean, Jira just needs to vote sleep. Even this vote on Ijax, you gotta look at what's going on early on. And when you're in the situation, when you have one sleep and you have a vote onto Jira, you gotta be quick. Because if you're Jira, you can't afford to put this in a 50-50. Obviously, he votes Ijax. That's adding another player in that potential rand mix. But I think you just gotta play it safe. And he had the poison too, right? So it doesn't really matter. He had a poisoner. My, oh my, what a huge play there. That is the end of game 1. Thank you guys. And we are gonna go into game number 2. My, oh my. This is the first time we're actually doing live on Twitch for these Turbo commentaries. We haven't really done many of these before. But anyways, here we go. We gotta ran this again. And we gotta get that whole list down one more time. All right. Oh my god. That was some crazy game. Oh, now we gotta... gotta add everyone again. Here we go. This is part of it, right? And what I'm doing in the background is just adding these players to the bot, getting them ready for the game too. And these players, right? You gotta wash it off, right? For these players that are playing this game, especially when you lose the game, especially because these are so bang bang, you gotta just wash that off. Move on to the next game. Think about what you could have done differently, and then try to do that, right? You don't have to worry too much about what's going on in the present, but you just gotta control your future, and that's the important thing, right? About these games, you don't want to dwell on too much on these losses that you occur, but you just want to make sure that hey, you're in the right mindset. You're doing what you need to do. And you just got to get back on your feet and get back at it. But my, oh my, this was some game. And I think it's a lot of fun when you kind of see what's going on. And it said Drew with a risky play there too. I've got one. Okay, all right. Who else are we missing? And oh, okay, we gotta add 2 more people to this mix. Here we go. Where is it? Okay. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Who are we missing? Who are we missing? All right, and we're gonna run game 2 here in a second. And get ready for those folks in game 2. It's about a ran. We're gonna be back at this right now. Sorry for a little bit quiet at times. We're just kind of concentrating to make sure we got everything set up correctly. Yeah. And here we go, game number 2 of this epic Mafia Turbo, and this is a sick game going on. We're ready. We're gonna go hop on over to game number 2. Wow. And I really like that game 1 came down to the wire. That's kind of what we like to see in these games. 1 minute day 2, here we go. 1 minute days, 1 minute nights. We start again here with the same 8 players. Here we go, about to begin, and it has indeed randed now. And the players are gotta be quick, right? When you see that rand, you gotta be insta quick. You can't really have time to go, drink some tea, drink some water, go to the bathroom. You gotta be bang, bang, bang quick, right? Because these games, they insta rand, And obviously what's going on here, there's a pre-game here going on. They got 15 seconds, right? Yep, and here we go. We immediately start. Tepe coming in, Porsche coming in. Here we go. Oh, Sid Drew does Villager. Oh, did we? Wait a minute. No, it's the same. It's the same setup. It's the same setup. I was kind of worried for a second. It's doing a pregame standby, and oh, because there was some added time to this. It seems like wow, oh wow, 1 minute and 5 seconds. So it seems like there is some benefit here, but I do believe that for the next phases there will be less, so it's a little bit longer for the day one just to get them accumulated and stuff like that. But as we mentioned, right, you got to be quick on your feet, you got to understand what's going on, you got to analyze, and you just kind of go do random, right? I think a lot of these VCs analysis, stuff like that, is such a huge aspect of the game. And I think what we saw there is Mafia have such a huge advantage at day one, right? Obviously, it came down to the Rand, but you need to kind of work together in that sense, because a lot of these games kind of come down to who is the better team, and especially when there's not as much for Town to go off of. If Mafia just kind of sack or do what they need to do, it's almost hard for Town to counteract that, right? Especially once you get that down early, it kind of just snowballs because of this randomness. But again, right? Sometimes you got to use those abilities. Sometimes you got to use those actions to your benefit. And here we go, 50 seconds underneath, and we got a lot of wagons competing with each other. Tepic at 3, Ijix at 3. This almost seems very similar to how it was last game with Tepic in that similar position. 3 on 3. Here we go. It's coming down. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's still the same. Is it going to get another Rand? Are we going to get another Rand here in game number 2? And yes, it is. And Ijix dies in the Rand and in the tie votes. Once again, Tepic survives and Ijix dies. Vanilla Villager. Oh my god. And this is crazy. What is going on here? And by the way, in Twitch chat, I would avoid talking about reads just because some players are allowed to technically watch the stream, because I'm not talking about any reads or stuff. I'm just more so doing play-by-play. So just be somewhat cautious of that. You can make reactions, but no worries. It's not a super huge deal. But regardless, this is a crazy start to the game. And once again, we got another tie, right? We had this last game where it was a 2v2 tie. This time a 3v3 tie, right? So these really come down to the wire. And it is just so much fun to watch. These players kind of go at it back and forth. It's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. I'm excited to see what happens after this night one, right? Because Town got to get back in it. They're basically going to Lilo, right? You're essentially in Lilo unless. And yes, and now here they go. Sidru dies. The Jote, and all of a sudden, we are in Milo, or I would say Milo territory, right? It's F6, so you could sleep, and I think most likely Town might sleep potentially, but dang, the jack of all trades, healer, motion detector, this is a crazy start. Uh-oh, and here we go. Yep, Tepic saying they can't lose their end, and Sprite voting out to Tepic, and now talking over to Jira. And this is crazy, right? Because I would think there might be some sort of sleeping going on. Obviously, you're a little afraid. If you're Town, you're somewhat afraid of those potential, Mafia having that extra KP potentially at night, and maybe you think you just got to do it now. But boy, oh boy, this is going to be huge. There's so many wagons being tied. Vote on Tommy Oliver. 2 on Tepic. Tepic has 2 with 10 seconds remaining. 8 and to 7. Here we go. 1 post. Tommy Oliver. And do we have another tie? We do. And Tepic votes on Tepic. Jira votes on Tommy Oliver. This might be a 3-3 again. And it is a 3-3, and Tommy Oliver dies, and Tepic again, miraculously surviving the Rand. And my, oh my, Tepic has some plot armor, and I just cannot believe this. Tepic somehow avoids dying again, and Tommy Oliver VT, right? So this is the only good thing is the game over for Mafia? For Town? We don't know, but you gotta get lucky with the KP, or otherwise this is GG Nori. This might be another game over. And my, oh my, and these Rands, Tepic just has some, MC plot armor, not dying back-to-back Rands. And, I just think the way this went, you always just gotta kind of look at the wagons and feel like that gives the whole solve. And it's interesting to see how this went down. And here we go, 1-0. And is the game over? And it is over. And the Mafia have won. And it wasn't even Tepic. It was Portia and Sprite. And they got out of it. And yeah, you talk about Divorce was an inventor, and Sidru was a Jote, and they had 2 PRs, right? But unfortunately, it just so happened that the Mafia were able to get out of that. And Tepic big Town and ranting in both scenarios is just crazy, right? And again, Portia Sprite stacking onto Tepic, and this is wild, man. This is wild. It is crazy, and that is the end of game 2. And we are gonna go on to game 3. We're gonna be ranting this shortly. But again, crazy turn of events. And you know, again, it's you got to be quick. They can kind of flip either way, and when you're down, you get those 2 PRs, you can potentially kind of narrow it in, but they're just so quick. You don't really have as much time to evaluate. You don't have as much time to kind of analyze what's going on, and I think a part of the players sometimes, it's hard for them to look back and ISOs and stuff, and that's why we talk about votes, right? The votes is so huge, and again, it's completely random day one, and you're heading into Lilo, potentially Milo situation, and you gotta kind of hope you get some PRs on your side, or you get some sort of benefit from there, where you kind of can narrow it in. We haven't really seen any PRs be active in terms of providing anything. We saw some claim from Divorce, which was an FPS in game one, but so far game 1 and 2's the PRs for Town especially have been kind of negligible. And have had a non-factor in terms of the outcome of the game. So interesting to see if that will potentially change to game 3 and onward. And we will begin rating game 3 shortly. And these have been a lot of fun so far. Quick games, a lot of fun to be a part of. And we got 3 more left, right? We got 3 more left. So here we go. That's a rant. And yep, here we go. Random game 3. We are starting the rant for game 3. My oh my, I mean, this is just so much fun, just seeing these players go at it, going back and forth. But yeah, the crazy rants too, by the way. Crazy rants, not only just the orange and the votes, but also the teams and stuff like that. But here we go, game number 3. Again, the pregame sign might be a little bit of an extra day 1. 3, 6, 7, 8, we got the correct. Here we go, game number 3 beginning. This is such a pivotal game, right? For those players that won, you kind of keep that momentum going. You got to try to make the most out of, what's going on so far in these rants. But here we go, and here we go. Tepic claims maybe PR are ready to begin. We're waiting for the other post to come in, and here we go. Tom Lawler says, I can't stop counting a divorce as Green Text yet again, brothers. We are going one after the other. Bang, 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 as they say. We got 2 extra posts coming in. No timer shown yet, and it is now less than 1 minute, 50 seconds at 49 and counting. Sprite says, wow, zowie. Tommy says, I'm voting Divorce. Some of the players haven't showed up yet, and they got to be quick, right? Again, we talked about the importance of trying to, get involved in the game early. You cannot be left behind, because otherwise you're just going to be coming in this blind and not really knowing where you can go. And now here we go. Checked in from everyone. Sid, Portia, and Jira. Everyone claiming Town, but clearly there is one lie already, and Divorce claiming PR to begin with. And here we go. We finally got a PR claim, right? We didn't really see this before, and now all of a sudden, some things to evaluate on. Obviously, depending what happens, if they're Town, they get night killed. If not, then they won't. But it adds some sort of pizzazz and things to the game. And now Ijax coming in voting Jira. Here we go. Voting on Sprite. 4 seconds. Tommy, Oliver, and Sprite are tied at 2. 3 posts refresh. Sprite is going to end the lead, and Sprite going to die. And Sprite dies, and Sprite reveals Town. A huge gamble, and the Mafia are in the lead. And just like that, we heading in another Milo-Lilo situation. Sprite dies, and we shall see what effects this have. Wow, a vanilla villager. Huge, huge, huge implications for what will occur the next day. These are some crazy games. I mean, chat, what do you think of the game so far, right? Obviously, we see Seth in here, we see some other people in here, but kind of talk to me, guys. What are you feeling so far about this game? What are some of the big moments, or some of the big takeaways you've seen? Not necessarily from a alignment perspective, but just general game strategy and how the games have developed. And here we go, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. This is such a huge consequential next day, and night 1 is over, and Jira has died. Flips villagers. So remember, Town of their PRs now. You're in this F6. Town of their PRs. They can definitely take huge advantage of it. And some people might look at Divorce, right? Some people are like, hey, why didn't Divorce die? But Jira flipping vanilla villagers, also something to keep intact. And here goes Citru immediately voting on Tepic. Portia does PR, question mark, question mark. Is that questioning the thing? Thomas always says, okay, so like, I know I'm aggressive, but like, I feel like I should be reasonably seen as Town. I went to sleep today. I think I will think about the game now. And Ijax claiming any results. Oh, and Sidru says, okay. Tepic says, Tommy V, I'm Joe. Tepic claims a V on Tommy. Huge Tommy says, I'm still vanilla. Tepik voting divorce. Divorce says, I was roadblocked, and here we go. What is going on? And 2 votes on. Tepik votes divorce. Ijax on divorce. Here we go. And Porsche on divorce. Tommy Oliver on divorce. And divorce was the alignment cop. Unreal. And they were on cycle. And Tommy Oliver dies, and that's the game. Ijax and Drew were Mafia, and Tepig was indeed Joe. And look, I don't really know what that was. My own. This is crazy. What just happened? Oh my god! And the game ends. And Tommy. Oh my god! What just happened? Was that a speed run? Oh my god! And yeah, Ijax was Jailkeeper. That's probably why it ended. But oh my god, man, this is crazy. Oh my god, and Tepik, and this is crazy. Says I literally can't refresh fast enough. We need 2 minutes every game. You monster. Unfortunately, that is the setup. That is the way it is. It's the 1-1 madness. But damn, what's crazy to me is Tepik not only was also telling the truth. He had the V-check on Tommy, and you just talk about if you just clear divorce, if you just keep it for 1 second, if divorce gets a check, you can immediately go into either Ijax or Citru. Potentially, but dang, that is so unfortunate. And look, you could talk about Town potentially having everything they need to win the game, right? You talk about the 2 VTs died, and you have the Town PR claiming Tepik, who was outside of it, claimed the V on Koba. You have Divorce, who was also PR. Imagine they don't get roadblocked. I mean, you had essentially 3 clears, and it was basically, you had 2 clears, and you had picked the wrong in Divorce. And sometimes you have to think about, even if Divorce is Mafia, who is the partner outside, right? And you gotta kind of look outside of that. It's just so unfortunate, but they had the opportunity to win this game, and it's just one of those things. And that's the end of Game 3, and here we go, going into Game 4. This is why we like these games, right? They're very fast-paced, quick events. But, that's just how it is. And look, if the people playing the games want extras, we can go up to 7. We could do 8. We could do this more. I like this, man. I'm all for this. I like these games. I like what we're doing. We can keep it going, So we can get more of what we're getting. And show it to you guys back at home. I know a lot of you guys are enjoying it, and I think it's a lot of fun, not only for the community. I think it's a lot of fun for the players in the game. You get a little bit of a different taste of what it's like at these fast-paced games. I need to kind of get a sense for what's going on, and try to make the most out of it. And here we go. And yeah, we're about to start Game 4 here too. The rant for Game 4. And here we go, right? Game 4 rant underway, and a crazy first set of 3 games. Divorce's air game. Your room looks like a hotel or a movie set. Do you actually live in it? Yes, I do live in it. This is indeed my room. This is this is my room. This is where we make the magic happen. And speaking of magic, we get a Game 4 magic occurring here. And here we go, the beginning of Game 4. Here we go. Again, there's a little bit of delay, at least in day 1. I think in the beginning there's not as much, but as the days goes on, there's a lot more that you need to consider and take into consideration as they're a lot faster. And here we go again, right? There's some standby, so there's some, some delay, some, catch up that goes on in day 1. So day 1 is a little extra, which could potentially be very helpful. So as we saw, right, we kind of saw the statistics. Mafia, lost more often when the, when they died day 1, right? And Town dying day 1, right? So far the games have been decided by the day 1 kills, and they have been more impactful in terms of the spread of the win percentages, right? Obviously, we saw Mafia lose after them dying day 1, and we saw Town losing back-to-back. Obviously, you can kind of talk about Game 3 is a little unfortunate because they had the PRs, they had the checks, but again, right, this is manageable for Town, and I think if they want to get back into it, they got to kind of understand, what is the most probabilistic kills, what are the most probabilistic flips, because as we mentioned before, right, in that previous game, even though Divorce was was Town, right? Even if they're Mafia, they're gonna still have another partner, and you can look into the one of the three, right? So it's a very safe French world. And here we go, 17 seconds going here in this new game in Game 4, right? Let's talk about what's going on here. Sidru in the lead with 3, Tommy Oliver at 2, and once again, 10 seconds remaining. Jira saying Sid V maybe, Ajax voting Sprite, J Scum is my legacy. Divorces don't roadblock me already. Hinting at a potential PR we don't know. Tipex says I would win a rand. Sidru at 3. And here we go. And Sidru. Oh, there was a bunch of votes at the end there. And it is Sidru dies. And Sidru reveals to be Mafia. What a crazy start to this game. And here we go, right? The Mafia get eliminated day 1. Is that going to translate into a Town win? We shall see. That is to come up next. But a huge boost for Town right at the get-go. Because again, right, these games, we talk about Mafia, there is going to be most likely less bussing going on. But also, Mafia tend to work more together, especially because the votes, right, in these quick games, there's less reads, more votes getting made, and those are much more impactful than kind of what goes said in the thread, right? But again, now we go to an F6 potentially, but a huge benefit for Town to begin this game, and that's kind of what the doctor ordered, right? But here we go, going to day 2, night 1, ending 1 second left, and here we go, starting the day up, and it is The Force has died, and they revealed to be Vanilla Villager. So again, right, Mafia dies, Vanilla Villager dies, and you still have at least one PR alive, and here we are with 6, and let's see what occurs here. And Tommy Oliver says 07 Harold, and yep, that was indeed Harold there. The hamster that was co-owned, adopted by Katse, and they've taken very good care of Harold. But Harold back here again, and here they now, and Porsche claiming a red on Tepig. Oh my god. And Tepig claiming Jira V, and is that the game? And Porsche claims Tepig red, and exclamation, what is this? This is crazy. Oh my god. And is that the game? Sprite says, oh, never mind. And that is it. And Tepig Wolf and the Town demolish in amazing fashion. Historically, back-to-back kills. And we talked about it, right? What has been such a huge aspect of these games and have dictated who has won are the teams that kill the other opposing alignments tend to win the games. And we talked about that day 1, right? The most random out of all the days, the one that gives a little bit extra leeway for that minutes, even seconds, even milliseconds to make those important decisions has led to the team that has won, right? You talk about the Town killing Mafia, they've won. Mafia killing Town day 1 has won. So these day 1s have been so instrumentally huge in terms of dictating which team wins. And here we go, right? And here we go, right? About to start that was the penultimate game, and now we're starting the last game. All right, and we checked in with the players, and we will do 5. So this is the last game. So yeah. So here we go, starting the 5th game, getting ready to Rand. And this is the last one, right? So for all these players, you just got to go out there, you got to do your best to win, right? You're not really focused on really the scores of the others or how they've performed in the tournament, but you just kind of want to do the best you can and achieve maximum, scores that you're able to. And you're kind of putting aside what happened before, right? If you're coming to this game, you got to come in fresh, right? You got to come in with the mindset of, hey, I'm doing this, to, oh, whoops. Oh, I did something wrong here on the thing. Ooh, I made a little bit of boo with the bot. Let's see if we can fix this. Hey. All right, thank you for that. So we're going to clear this up. Oh, okay, now we have to change the game again. Oh, we made a bit of a boo-boo. Close X randomer 8. Okay, and here we go. I've got the 1 day, 0 nights, and then phases Sunday. Okay, and here we go. We're ready to go, right? So we're going to add these players in. We made a small boo-boo with the bot, but regardless, I'm excited. I think this is just such a great way to get together, have these fun little games, right? We talk about popcorn, and this is even more fun than popcorn, right? Because in popcorn, you know, they're a little bit more up in the air and a little more chaotic because you don't really know what's going on here. This is on another level, but at least you have some roles that go in this. You have some, you know, some VCs to read into, right? And a lot of the chat is still there preserved. Obviously in popcorn it's preserved as well, but in here it's a lot easier to kind of look back at votes count and stuff like that and get a sense of what happened in the game. But you know, I just think it's so much fun, these Sunbase setups, and I think they provide a turbo, if you will, right? You talk about turbo supposed to be the fast ones. This one is even more faster, and you can even argue this is light speed, right? We talk about turbos, this is light speed, right? So I think, you know, these game modes should be called light speed because that's what they are, right? You gotta be quick on your feet, you gotta be quick to analyze, and I think we're ready to go. The ultimate game, the last one game, numero cinco. That is 5 for those who don't speak Espanol, or should I say Spanish. That cinco means 5, and that is the last game that we shall be playing here. And getting ready, yep. All right, here we go. Randy, the last game, game number 5. Here we go. An epic game 4 that was in town just kind of came back and they said, nah, we're sick of what happened, and they just took advantage and they just pummeled the Mafia there. But here we go, game number 5, right? A new day, new game, new Rand. Let's see what happens. 8 players, right? And here we go, starting off the game. Waiting for people and the Rand to fully commence. And here we go. We got the first pose of the game, introducing the day, and the game has begun. 54 seconds. The timer has already gone, and no leeway this time. You got to be quick if the player's coming in. Less than 50. Sid Drew claims Villager. Porsche says, I have so many punts. Tepic says, this PR sucks. And Ijax claims, I'm a PR. And Tommy Oliver says, yes, I'm BPV. And here we go. A lot of fun going on so far. Porsche claims points. What is going on here? A lot of shenanigans. Sprite voting Tom Oliver. You're never going to guess what color text I got. Green Villager. Said Drew. I'm also PPV. Catch me how hands. Tepic voting Sleep. Sprite says real. Sid Drew vote divorce. Oh my god. And Porsche says we all PR. Tommy Oliver voting Sprite. But Tepic power rolls are. Sid Drew said Tepic is still Scumlean, and Ijax votes divorce. Porsche on Sport, divorce on Sidrew on Tommy Oliver. A lot of votes spread out, and on Tepic again, and Sprite dies. Wow, what a spread of votes, like peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich. Sprite with 2, Tepic with 1, Sleep with 1, Tommy Oliver with 1, divorce with 1, and Sidrew with 1, and Jiro with 0. My oh my, what a spread that was, and that was so chaotic. My oh my. And you know what's crazy about these games is you start the game with 8 players, and you know, obviously whenever you kill, you kind of go into that potential Milo-Lilo situation. But is sleeping the day one the strat sometimes, right? Do we think about whether or not sleeping is good, you know, for either team, right? Because if you sleep, well, you're in even numbers. Maybe sometimes you're worried about the potential KP, but if you sleep, you know, you can kind of maybe get a sense of how the day one went, and maybe because the games are so quick in terms of the phases of the daytime, it's a little harder to kind of track and analyze what's even going on. Like maybe that sleep doesn't even help you anything, because even though you read the stuff, you don't really get any reads, and maybe that is the case, right? Or maybe it's completely random, and so we'll have to see what happens. And Tepic has died Vanilla Villagers. So again, 2 Vanilla Villagers died, but we're here in this F6 Lilo, Milo potentials, right? And Tommy Oliver says, non-consec doc here, I protected Jay. And here we go, right? This is going to probably be coming down to pure claims most likely. And Jira says, sorry, I missed the Rand. Guard claim BT. And Sidrew voted Ijax and says red. Sidrew on the Ijax train. Divorce on Porsche. Town of Metro gave Tepic suicide bomb. Ajax claiming that. What is going on? This is crazy. Porsche, I agree on Neil. There are just so many claims going on. A boatload of information coming. Tommy Oliver votes sleep. Ajax votes the force. And Citrus says OWTF unvote Ajax. What is going on? This is a bizarre game right now. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Why are they voting sleep? What? They're voting sleep here in an F6. Are they not worried about potential KPN? And they both voted on Ajax. Jira and Porsche voting both onto Ajax. Is that going to do anything? And it ties to sleep. What a huge gamble. Oh my god. And if Ajax was Mafia, that would be insane. My, oh my. If Ajax was Town and advantage there, that would be insane. My, oh my. Again, we don't really have any reads or anything. We don't have any spoils, but this is crazy. Just looking at this, I think there's so much to derive from this VC analysis. My, oh my. The sleep rant occurred. Gosh. My, oh my, do we love a good fun time here. And let's see what happens, right? It's a big game 5 and a lot going on here. And will the game end, or will Mafia Town find a way to survive? Will Mafia figure out how to end it quickly? Let's see, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. It's counting down ever so slightly. The anticipation, the anxiousness. Here we go. Less than 3 seconds remaining. And starting the next day. The game is not completed because there's no completion of it. And the force dies on Villager. And the force, another Villager flip. Huge. With 5 remaining. My, oh my. And this might come down to the wire. Oh my god. And Ajax claimed Jira Porsche. We have solved, and let's see what happens. Oh, what the WTF? First, Lilo. Tommy Oliver claims protected Sid. I got threat pull item. Ajax voting Porsche. My, oh my. And Ajax, I believe the votes are locked. I believe they're locked, or maybe in the close they're not. Maybe in close they're not, but Ajax on Porsche. Ajax saying vote Porsche, vote Jira tomorrow. Porsche says I am Endor J. And what does everyone do? There's only one vote casted so far. 10 seconds remaining. 9 seconds remaining. Is no one not voting? Why V me then? What? Oh my god. What's gonna happen? Jira votes Ajax? Is it gonna rant again? Oh, it ran into Porsche! And insane! Oh! Oh my god! A tie in a 3-way! Wow! The lack of votes, and holy smokes! This is crazy! What we just witnessed here. Porsche onto Jira, Ajax onto Porsche, Jira onto Ajax. What? And Porsche dies and flips Mafia. This is an insane reveal that we're witnessing. What? I just cannot fathom what is going on. And again, we talked about Town died day 1, Mafia died day 2. Though, is the script going to flip, or is it gonna end up being a Mafia win? What a bizarre turn of events here, and what is gonna happen here going into the next night. And this is just so bizarre to me. I mean, this is crazy. And here we go, and Tommy Oliver has died, and they revealed to be PR, Dr. Non-Consec. And here we go. We got the fun F3, Ajax, Jira, and Sydney. And Sydney voting Jira instantly. And voting Jira, and Jira's Villager, and Sid Jira's Mafia. Unreal. What an unreal ending. Oh my god, and Ajax voted Jira, and this is crazy because Sid Drew had no voted. It landed among 2 vanillas onto the 1 Mafia. Wow, how crazy is that? And Ajax was indeed Town Inventor's suicide bomber. And this is crazy because if Ajax gave the suicide bomb to like Neil, then Neil should have used it. If Neil doesn't use it, he's outed. Wow. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, here's the thing. What a bizarre ending and Mafia triumph, and the stats of that day 1 stands. And look, here's the thing. What you gotta understand is when he claims to give the suicide bomb, right? If he actually has a suicide bomb. You just use it at an F3, right? We talk about how Ajax is essentially lock cleared from that both day, the night 2 or the day 2 and the day 3. Ajax shouldn't even have to vote. So what you do is you force you force Neil to use his suicide bomb onto Jira, because that way they both die and you confirm that at least Town is winning, because you have Ajax alive and either the Mafia is dying or the Mafia is involved in that bomb regardless. And so I'm a little bit thrown off by why Ajax didn't force Neil to use the suicide bomb there, right? No, because here's the thing. Neil had the bomb, right? Oh, Tepik was vended it. Oh, my bad. I was going off because I thought Tepik had that, or I thought Neil had the bomb. Oh, whoops. What a bizarre ending. What a bizarre ending. Oh, okay. You gave bomb to Tepik. I thought you gave it to Neil. That's why I was like so confused why he didn't force Neil to vote there. But still, this is so bizarre by Neil, right? Very interesting how Neil was very scared. He didn't vote on the 2-2 split, right, when it voted sleep, and then he didn't vote here either when he had 2 villagers up there, and it's just crazy how the Rand land. I mean, everything went right for Town from a Rand perspective, and it just in that F3 just slipped away. But damn, what a crazy ending. And Mafia get the win at GG's. That was a good 5 games there, and it was a lot of fun, right? And kind of talk about how important that those day ones there, right? Every day one, whether Mafia flipped or Town flipped, that kind of led to which alignment would end up getting the wins, and that was such a huge part of these games. And GG's to them that they showed up, and now we gotta count them up, count the racks up, rack them up as they say, and figure out who went. But GG's, it was a good set of games, and in this night 2 Turbo Tournament event special, just want to thank you guys all so much for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. It was a little bit of a short type of commentary. It was, not really in depth with reads and stuff like that, but nonetheless, it was more play-by-play. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll send out the results shortly as far as the winners and losers. And thank you guys so much. See you guys next time. Peace.